ask you a favor. Every year we do a 9/11 Remembrance in the Federal Center and within DLA Disposition Services. I'm sure we all know where we were when. And during these remembrances, we often talk to senior leaders, myself, Mr. Zingaretti, Mr. Foreman, we did Colonel Bondi, and we told our stories about where we were when and what it meant to us. But you know what? Those are just a couple of stories. They're probably not the best stories out there. There are some other amazing stories of how that attack, those series of attacks, impacted you personally. So we're looking for your input. We're looking to hear your story and give you a chance, if you're willing, to share your story with the rest of us.
Oh, I'm Corky Malcolm. I'm the Chief Counsel here at DLA Disposition Services. It's hard to believe it's been 19 years since 9/11 and the attack on the Pentagon. 19 years ago, I was a Navy judge advocate working for the Chief of Naval Operations and actually had 2 offices in the Pentagon. Many of you may have attended the ceremony last year where I was the keynote speaker, and I understand that video is out there and you can hear my entire story on that video if you'd like to rewatch it. But today I want to come back and once again emphasize a couple of things I said that day. First, the Navy had the greatest loss of military life in the Pentagon that day, and all 33 sailors that were lost worked in my office in the Pentagon. 4 of those individuals I knew fairly well, and I've carried their names around me for all 19 years, and every chance I get, I like to remember them. Lieutenant Marie Ray Soper, she was a Navy JAG. She was on the flight that hit the Pentagon. She had just got off active duty and was headed to a new life out in California. Lieutenant Commander Eric Cranfield, he was a Navy pilot, had constant interaction with him in the workspace. He had been married for about a year. He was just a great young officer. Captain Lawrence Getzfred, he was a Navy reservist. He gave us the morning intel brief every morning down in the Ops Center. He was the old sea dog of our unit and just an all-around good guy. And then one of the most moving was Petty Officer Picor. He was a young enlisted E6, and he was 30 days from retirement and was about to become a school teacher. He had 2 young boys, and it just 4 people that have stuck with me. And like I said last year, certain words that characterize this event for me, and they're always remember, never forget. Have a good day.
It was a very interesting day. I woke up that morning. It was my mother's 65th birthday. We normally went to Bill Knapp's and got our little chocolate cake, so everybody got a piece without getting fat, so that was kind of on my mind. Got in the morning. We were working a project, Central Contractor Registration, formerly known as CCR. If you want to do business with the government, you have to go through Central Contractor Registration to get through the front door. So I worked for a contractor, Northrop Grumman, under the ground, under the kitchen in 1AG, and we were doing this project. I'd come around the corner to talk to one of my team leads who was here from New York. When I walked around, this was 2001, so the internet's not like what it was today. CNN was kind of the big thing, and he had it up on his screen with a picture of the plane hitting the building. At the same time, he's hanging up the phone, and he turns and he looks at me, and he is ghost white because his cousin just hung up with him, and he had just got out of the subway to watch the plane hit the building. Now, this is a New Yorker, and you can imagine what he's thinking, and he's stuck here in Michigan. And then we had a young employee that just started out of school. I'd given his folks my number and vice versa, so they had communication with their son. And he started freaking out. He was afraid the buildings were going to come down, and some of us older people told him just calm down, but if you want to go home and you're not feeling it, then go. And he's like, no, I'll be fine, but he really wasn't, because he kept coming back saying they're going to fall. You know, the first building had only been hit. After we got him settled down in that really short period of time, the second building got hit. Now, Colonel Life was the colonel here. He came on the speakers, I recall, and said, anybody that doesn't feel comfortable, we don't know what's going on, but if you'd like to take liberal leave, you're welcome to go. And a lot of people got up and left, and then there's a lot of us computer diehards that were here till the end. So, once the second plane hit, now we're starting to lock things down. There's planes in the air. We've got people coming home from TDY for this project. And basically, I helped write CCR on the AS400. That was the machine that I have all my experience in and was kind of at the top of my game. And for central contractor registration, we had scheduled jobs. Well, because of the nature of this with the emergency, they needed body bags. And the only way we could get them was get these cage codes and get these things approved and through the system. So at about 10 o'clock, 11:30 or 10:30, somewhere in there, I started running central contractor registration jobs every 5 minutes when they completed to get those body bags and whatever they needed to order out the door. We did that basically eating and just kept running those jobs. Colonel came on a couple more times saying that if you wanted to go home, there's more planes in the air, we're not sure what's going down, FAA's been shut down. You can go, and I'm kind of cocky, and I was here for the duration. And finally at 20 after 1, after running these jobs for hours just to get the body bags going, which is really a bad memory, he told us all to leave. So we cleared the building because we didn't know who was the next target. And with Battle Creek, used to hold I'm born and raised here, we used to have the computers, we were always heard that we were number 3 on the list for a target, so, you know, we don't know, but to be safe. So, and to finish the story, we get out early, and now it's tragic, our country's being attacked, we don't know what's going on, and it's my mother's 65th birthday. So we, my daughter and my mother, go out to Bill Knapp's to have our ritual cake. I forgot all about Bill Knapp's putting TVs into their dining room, which frankly, that's whatever, neither here nor there. We sat there for the whole entire dinner, watching the towers go down over and over just to have a birthday dinner. So on top of it was her 65th birthday, it ended with watching it completely over and over. And running those jobs. I couldn't do military because I broke my back as a child, but to be able to serve my country in this capacity is my way of giving back. And I'd do it again in a heartbeat. That's my story.